The American F-15 Eagle is currently the world's most advanced and sophisticated fighter. With a top speed of 1650 miles an hour and a thrust-to-weight ratio of 1:1, it can accelerate even in a vertical climb. The radar, electronics and weapon system are so refined that the pilot is almost a computer operator, and it's said to be able to outperform and outmaneuver any aircraft in the world, including the much faster MiG-25. It's a high point in aviation technology, and like most technical high points, it's expensive. In this case, an explosive $16 million a plane. The USAF wants 730 of them at a staggering total cost of $12 billion, arguing that operationally this plane will take them into the 1990s, by which time it will almost certainly end up here at the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona. In its day, every one of these planes was the most formidable thing flying, and some, like later models of these B-52s, are still in frontline service. When it first flew in the summer of 1955, this enormous 8-engine bomber took the world's breath away. They'd never seen anything like it before. Nothing that big could fly. Now, breathless and legless, it flops in the desert, waiting for the breakers to get round to it. This base is the home of the Military Aircraft Storage and Disposition Center, or MASDIC for short, known locally as the Aircraft Graveyard. That's slightly misleading because it's also a storage area for obsolete planes held in reserve. This F-100 Super Sabre was the world's first supersonic fighter to go into quantity production. The technical problems it solved in the early 50s were enormous. 20 years later, this breakthrough plane is being cocooned pending breakup. It'll sit alongside ex-presidential helicopters, Osage trainers minus rotor blades, and other neat rows of planes, presumably all in working order should they be needed. If they're not, and rows of early 50s planes will be superseded by late 50s planes, then an area of the base becomes the graveyard. Anything that can be cannibalized and reused is. The high cost of modern jets is in their electronics, and this is where most of the value of an obsolete plane lies. The rest is just scrap metal, and it's dealt with accordingly. This base covers an area of 2,500 acres and contains 3,000 dead planes. That's almost the number of operational planes in the current American Air Force. It's an eerie place to visit. In the last 20 years, $30,000 million worth of aircraft have passed through here on their way to the breakers. Those aircraft have employed the best technical brains and the most skilled craftsmen of a whole generation of people, not only in America, but also in Russia, Britain, France, Germany, and Sweden. High technology, but with a lifespan of only 20 years at best, inevitably ending up in the smelter. When the current generation of American planes like the Eagle and the Tomcat arrive at MASDIC, the cost of the hardware on the ground will be measured in millions of millions, not thousands. Sums of money that are beyond comprehension. Each F-100 aluminium ingot represents a Super Sabre, and it's worth 50 cents a pound. The cost of buying 10 F-15s is a year's national budget for some developing nations. This base happens to be in the United States. There must be places like this in other parts of the world. The constant struggle for parity in the arms race is the world's most costly enterprise.